Welcome to section 7.5, Properties of Logarithms. So, I want to cover some of the properties, some of the rules first before we do any examples to understand the mechanics of the said properties of logarithms. So here, take a moment to copy down these three properties that I have out for you to have in your notes. So, before I go into these properties, we must know that if m and n are positive integers, meaning that any variables that we work, we are to assume that they are unknown positive numbers. For these properties to work, again, it ties back into the special cases that I covered in section 7.3, where logs can only work with positive integers. It cannot work if the integer is equal to 0, nor if the integer is equal to negative numbers. So again, right now I'm using m and n for these properties. We can use any other variables as long as the variables are positive integer. Now the first property, it is known as the product property because if you look at in this side, log base b of mn, the operation between m and is multiplication. Hence, the first property is called product property. So, by finding the product property, you can rewrite it as log base b of mn as log base b of m plus log base b of n. So over here on the right side, this is the expand form. On the left side, this is the condensed form. So the reason I'm covering these properties is that it's another technique when it comes to solving log equation. So if you were to start with the expand form and you want to get into a single log form to condense into one log, you would follow the product property as such. Again, order does matter. As you notice, on the left side, it says log base b of mn. My m came first. So on the right side, I wrote log base b of m. And then plus log base b of n, because the n was the second variable. The second property, is called the quotient property because if you look on the left side right here, log base b of m over n, meaning m divided by n. Since it's a division operation, that's why this property is called quotient property. If you have a problem, log base b of m over n in this form, you can rewrite it as log base b of m minus log base b of n. So if you were to expand, this is what it would look like. If you were to condense, this is what it would look like. Now, as I stated before, order does matter. Log base b of m over n, meaning if m is on top, then log base b of m is written first, and then minus, and then what's in my denominator, log base b of n, that comes second. So again, make sure you follow the order very carefully when you're going expand or condense. Order is very important. Now the last property, I have log base b of m to the power of p, and then here's another form, log base b of m raised to the power of p, where the p is outside the parenthesis. So either form works. So if you are given a problem in this format, they mean the same thing. Again, we have a single variable, which is m, and if it's being raised by a power, then these two forms mean the same thing as long as it's a single variable. But if there's other variables involved, then you still need to follow the rules of exponent. Now this last property is called the power property because we have m being raised by an exponent, which is another name for powers. So if you have in this format, you can rewrite it as p times log base b of m. So what we did was we moved the exponent and then put it in front of p as a regular integer. Now, earlier I stated an m and n or positive integer. P as an exponent, it can be written as a positive or a negative exponent. That's okay. It's just the variable that's inside a log, m or n or any other variables, has to be a positive integer inside of log. But the exponent can be written as a positive or a negative integer. So when you're working with powers, and if you were trying to get into log, then simply you're just going to move p back to where to m is as an exponent. Or if you don't want to have exponent, then you're just going to move it in front of log and put it as a regular size number or a regular size variable or regular size integer. So make sure you understand these properties as we go through each of them with some examples. Product, quotient, and power.